All right. Is there anything that you want to mastermind around? Any topic? Or should we focus on refresh? I think last week we talked a little bit like just refreshing your soul and what that could mean to each of us. Sometimes it's just kicking ourselves back into gear for the work week. And other times it's just your mood. Maybe you just need to kind of recap, reset. You know what? Does anybody need anything like that? Hey, Laura. Hey.
Well, I can.
We're just. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can definitely share that one of the ways I have that I am going to change the way I refresh for the rest of the year is that I've always been an avid reader, and I have like this ongoing promise to myself to read 100 books. And honestly, like I've done it for so many years that I'm not really sure how I got so far behind, but I am way I'm way behind this year. And so it means that for the rest of the year, I'm going to have to read one book every other day. So every second day, I have to finish a book. And so I will definitely be choosing reading a lot more often for the rest of the year. And I love to. I mean, it definitely, I was just thinking about it this morning, how much reading fiction is almost better for me than like reading business books, because I take more like about human nature. It's like when somebody's trying to give me a sermon, I'm not always super receptive to that, and that's how nonfiction feels to me. But it's more like if I ferret it out of the story for myself, then it's kind of like I had my little fun life lesson and I'm more likely to apply. So anyway, so I'm going to be choosing a lot of fiction for that reason, because it just seems like I can read it a lot faster. And so I'm totally open to anybody's good suggestions for books. Right now I'm reading, oh, I will tell you this. I'm reading a book called The Midnight Library, and I am loving it so far. So, and I'll give you the quick premise in case any of you like to read. It's this really depressed lady, and she decides she's going to commit suicide, and she ends up in this place called the Midnight Library, and she has a book of regrets. And before she can either die or live, she has to go through this library and choose to look at a different life she could have lived if she'd made another choice. And so each different book that she goes and lives are like other choices. And so far, it's just super entertaining.
That sounds good. Yeah. And, Laura mentioned, sometimes
Yeah, I'm definitely on good. I am definitely on Goodreads. I would love suggestions of who to follow on Goodreads for sure. Are any of you on Goodreads? I'm adding you now.
Okay, so we're going to start following.
I am, but I haven't read for pleasure in like, let's be honest, probably 2.5 years, because I've been having so much reading for school that on top of working a full-time job and a part-time job, I just don't like, I can't allow myself to do it because I'll get too distracted from other priorities. But I'm on Goodreads. My friend Tanya Shields, I don't know if you can see like who I follow, but if you can, Tanya Shields, she is reading all the freaking time now. So I'm always getting updates from her.
All right, thank you. It's so cool to just jump into a book. I have to admit, I've been doing too much. Well, I shouldn't say too much, but I've been doing a lot more nonfiction. Always looking for some type of education, insight, but longing for, picking up a good thriller or something that I'm just going to get glued to. How about you, Foxy?
I'm not a huge reader, especially now that my right eye, it goes in when it gets tired. So it makes it hard to read because I like have to reread it over and over again. But I started reading this book on chakras. So that's the book I'm reading right now. And then I'm reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone with my 7-year-old. And it's one of the really big ones that has like all the drawings in it. Because he doesn't like books without pictures. So I was like, okay, I can get him in a really good book, but he'll like it because it has all these pictures. But not all of we don't have all of them like that. We have like, I think the first 2. So after that, he has to just be hooked because I don't have any more books like that to entice him. But he's reading it with me, and he knows most of the words. Like there's very few words that I have to tell him how to say them. So it's pretty cool. He's a much better reader than I was.
Yeah, that's awesome that you do that. I tried
Foxy, have
to-
you ever listened to audiobooks at all? I find that I can't really get into
too
them, but
distracted.
yeah.
I've tried, and I start thinking about other things. I get doing other things and I forget it's even playing.
I kind of have that
So-
same problem. That's why like I listen to podcasts when I'm at my full-time job, because I can listen periodically and like pick up little tidbits. But I just thought, because you said that you don't read a lot because of your eyes, so I thought maybe.
Yeah.
But another suggestion for your kiddos, when I can't remember how old my son was, but so my brother and sister are like 14 and 15 years older than me. And when they were little, my parents or grandparents, I don't even know who, got each of them like a whole series of books. So my sister got Nancy Drew and my brother got the Hardy Boys. So they got passed down to my son, and reading those books with him when he was like probably about 7, 8 maybe, was super, super fun.
Yeah, I love that. Once in a while, my youngest and I will sit and we'll read What I Want to Do Again, which I've only done a few times, is when we do both read the same book and kind of side by side, because her comprehension needs just to be improved a bit. Pronunciation is good. Sorry, my Wi-Fi's messy. All right. Well, we've got a minute remaining. Oh, now we're at the top of the hour. I'm gonna hit pause, stop,